All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. We want to welcome you to the Agent Accelerator session for December 23rd, guys. This is our last Agent Accelerator of the year. Let me see the hearts and hundreds of you guys excited about a phenomenal year that we've had so far. This phenomenal successes that we've been able to create so far. The phenomenal success story that we've been able to create so far as a company, guys. We're shifting things in our industry. And guys, I'm not just talking about in the networking space. I'm not just talking about the direct selling space. We're leading the way and we're forging the way right now in our financial market in the real estate space. Guys, I want you to understand that we have something absolutely phenomenal on our hands right now. And I think some people are underestimating, right, or undervaluing the opportunity that we have before us. And I know I get hype on these calls, but I promise you, this doesn't have to be hype because we have something incredible, right? When we have something that's built on real documentation, when we have something that's built on a real market shift that's occurring before us right now, when we're building something that has real results, guys, this is different. We're playing a different game from everybody else that's out there. So I hope everybody is excited and super excited like me to be on this, right? Here's what I want you guys to understand. I always have had this mentality. The way that you start a year properly is by finishing your year strong, right? I want you guys to get this. The way you start the next year properly is by finishing the year strong. A lot of people take time, and I understand you need time to rest, to reflect, all of that type of stuff. But here's what I want to tell you. Don't take your foot off the gas right now. I want you guys to build up the momentum that you need to go into 2026 strong so you can create the best year of your life. Like, I'm not just talking about estate right now. I want you guys to understand exactly what I'm talking about. We could go into 2026 and create the best year of your life. Let me tell you, can I tell you guys a story? A pivotal moment for me was in 2019. Right. And I'm gonna talk about some of the things that happened for me in 2019. But in 2019, there was a shift that happened in my life, right? And I got focused and I took some concentrated effort. And I said, I'm going into 2020. I was going into 2020 with clear vision. And I said I was going into 2020 with some amazing results. Can I tell you guys that when I was going into 2020, I had no idea that we were going to have a pandemic that happened. When I was going into 2020, I didn't know that our world would practically be shut down at that time, right? But I had already decided that 2020 was going to be my year. 2020 was going to be a year of domination for me. And guess what, guys? No matter how many obstacles we had, no matter what showed up, no matter all the things that were going on, 2020 became a phenomenal year for me in spite of that. Not only for me, I did a boot camp in 2019. That was a vision boot camp that I did. And all the success stories that came from that vision boot camp of what we said we were going to do in 2020 and all the things that came to fruition in spite of all the stuff that happened is absolutely phenomenal. So I want to tell you guys, I feel that 2025, look, we went from 2020 to 2025, 5 years later, right now, we're in the same opportunity. We got the same opportunity right now to create next level success in 2026. How many of you are ready for next level success in 2026? Let me see the hearts and hundreds really quick. How many of you all on here is like, I'm committed to next level success in 2026? 2026 is going to be the year of the revolution and transformation for me. I don't care what you're going through and what you're facing right now. Right? It doesn't matter right now. I understand that people are facing some challenges. I understand that people are facing some things. People are they're just hoping that they have an opportunity right now. And I want to tell you guys that we have a unique opportunity. But here's one thing I want you guys to understand. It's December 23rd. And I know some people are like, hey man, I might as well close it down and just wait for 2026. But I want to tell you do this, right? If you're with me, I want you to do this. I want you to understand that there's a lot more success in 2025. There's a lot of success left in 2025. You know who that success is for? The people who haven't shut down for 2025. The people who haven't given up on 2025. There's a lot more success in 2025 for all the people who are ready for it. Let me go over some housekeeping things. Somebody trying to get on the call that's iPhone. You guys know, I think we've been doing these presentations long enough to understand that if you invite somebody, make sure that they have their real name, not just iPhone, right? Make sure that they have a name associated with their account. We're trying to create a professional, clean environment where it's conducive for our success. So make sure if you invited somebody, send them a text, say, make sure you got your name on your Zoom name when you join the Zoom. It doesn't need to be iPhone, all right? So let's do that, right? So guys, look, I'm excited. As you see on the screen, this is the blueprint for accelerated success. This is why we have this Agent Accelerator here, because we want to help as many people get to the level of success that they desire. And what we're going to be focusing on today is finishing strong, but how finishing strong is going to lead us to starting fast in 2025. We're going to have even faster success in 2026, right? We're going to finish 2025 strong and we're going to have even faster success in 2026. But look, I want to go over some things. I want to see if you're brand new, right? If you're kind of new right now, and you just got started, let's say within the last month. Let me see some hearts, hundreds right now for everybody who's new, getting started like within the last month or so. If that's you, let me see some hearts and hundreds. Do we have any brand new? I want to make sure that we cater this to the right people, right? Because I want to make sure that you get what you need and that you understand all the things that come along with this opportunity, right? Because I'm gonna give you guys some basic foundational things for success that's going to set you up for long-term legacy style success, all right? Right? And look, here's my promise to you. My promise to you on every one of these presentations that I will never discuss success that I have not already achieved. I don't try to teach what I haven't already achieved here with eEstate. Is that all right with y'all? If that's all right with y'all, I want to see those hearts and hundreds. Hearts and hundreds. All I'm going to do is talk about what has worked for me. So I'm not trying to try anything out on you. I'm not talking about anything that works in theory. I'm talking about real things that I've been able to do. As you guys have been on my Agent Accelerator before, the success that I've been able to achieve. And now I'm going to show you what was worked for me. And my prayer, my hope is that it works for you as well, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Now that we preface that, I want to jump into a couple things. I hope everybody that's serious about eEstate right now has their ticket to Miami. Now, I understand if you got some conditions, some different things that are going on that maybe you can't be there because, whatever. It has to be some extreme things. But we're still far enough away right now that you can go ahead and make your plans to be at our Miami Summit on January 31st. How many people right now, by a show of hearts and hundreds, already got your tickets for the Miami Summit? Already got your tickets for the Miami Summit, right? Already got, oh, there you go, the hearts and hundreds, hearts and hundreds, hearts and hundreds. All the people. Guys, let me tell you what I see for this. This is what I see for the Miami Summit. This is going to be a catalyst for our success. This Miami Summit is going to be a catalyst. How many of you all already feel that also? If you already feel that, let me see the hearts and hundreds for that, right? If you already feel like this is going to be a catalyst for success, this thing is going to be next level. This is going to change a lot of things for us, right? There's people right now. Can I tell you all the truth? There's people right now that's waiting. They're honestly waiting to see what happens at the Miami Summit. They said, look, I like it. I think I want to join, but I think that Miami Summit is going to be the thing, right? And I want to tell you guys, the being in the room is going to be so valuable. The people who are in the room. Now, we're going to see some 10x, 20x, 30x, and 100x success after this event. But the people who are in the room are going to see the greatest growth. Woo. I'm telling you, there's something about the power of proximity and being there in the room, how electric this atmosphere is going to be. The conditions that are conducive for success are going to be there. I'm telling you guys right now, this you want to be, and we only got a few tickets left. So don't think that I'm just trying to, we sold out most of our tickets. We done a great job with that. We sold out most of our tickets. So it's not like I'm just trying to fill the room. I'm trying to get a message through to you. You want to be in the room because we got like, I think maybe 12, 13 tickets left. Go get your, I think my wife just dropped the ticket link in there. Get your tickets for the Miami event. Here's what I challenge you to do. I'm gonna say this so strong publicly right now. Here's what I challenge you to do. Go get your ticket for the Miami event. Even if you don't know exactly how you're gonna make your way there, go get your ticket. If something happens, you got my word on this, right? If something happens that you cannot make it to the event, I'll refund your ticket if you do it before the event. But here's what I want you to give yourself I want you to give yourself a chance. I want you to give yourself a chance, right? To be in the room. I want you to put yourself in the position to make the decision and then make it happen. Woo. I want to tell you that's one of the greatest things that ever happened for me is to commit, then make the decision to make it happen. Commit first. Commit. I'm going to be in the room. Then make a decision to make it happen. All right. I want to remove all the excuses for you guys being in the room. Get your tickets. If you're a leader right now, if you're a leader, go get some tickets for your people. You know somebody that needs to be in the room. There's only a few left, right? But get the tickets. Maybe you're like, hey, look, I need to go get some tickets for some of my people because I need them to be in the room. All right. So that's what I'm telling you guys right now. Hopefully you guys are ready for that. So that was my first announcement with that we got that coming up. But before that, guys, here's what we have because we just not gonna leave you guys hanging. This coming Saturday, and I just saw my guy Daryl Porter join as well. This coming Saturday, we're having a super Saturday. We're having a super Saturday. You're like, hey, Anthony, this is holiday season. I know we having super Saturday. We're probably one of the only companies having a super Saturday and how in the holiday season. But myself, Daryl Porter, and Coach Rashid came together and said, look, let's do this for the people. Let's do this for the people. You guys are not going to leave the 2025 without all the things that you need to be equipped with and empowered with to get to the next level. So I want you guys to make your way to that next Saturday. It's from 12 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a 2-hour session. We got some phenomenal guests that's going to be coming on to that session as well. Not only we're going to be talking about our vision, what has happened, what has occurred, and what we see going forward, but we're going to also bring on some other special guests that you guys are going to hear from that session. So let's go ahead. Let's make sure that you guys get in there. I don't know, Daryl, if you're on, I'm going to make you a co-host. If you could drop the link in there once, if you could share that for me. I don't know exactly what you're doing right now, Daryl, but I see that you came on, so I'm gonna make you a co-host really quick. And if you could drop that in the chat for us, really quick, just drop the link if you have that available in the chat for us. My wife already dropped the Miami link, but if you could drop the link for our session next Saturday, right? We have that out. If you could drop that, if you're available to do that, all right? So that way we could get people on there to make sure that they attend that one, all right? So we'll do that. All right. Here's that was the other announcement that I had to make here. But we're about to jump into some stuff. I hope you guys got some notes, right? Note takers are money makers, note takers are move makers, right? And I'm going to share some stuff that has allowed me to achieve success. And I'm going to share some basic fundamentals of e-estate. Right. So I want you guys to get that. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch really quick to our presentation. Right. So let me switch to this. My computer is not as excited as I am. So it may take it a little bit of time right here to get going. So it's all right though. We're gonna make it work. All right. So let me do this. What I'm going to do right now is we're going to shift to our agent portion of our presentation because we're going to talk about some of the agent compensation plan. How many of you all want to better understand the agent compensation plan? Right? Let me see the hearts and hundreds. Who's ready to better understand the agent compensation plan? Right? Let me tell you guys this. Understanding how you get paid is the gateway to getting paid more. Ooh. Do you know how many people are not they don't understand how they get paid as far as the agent compensation plan, so they don't maximize the agent compensation plan. If you first to actually maximize the agent compensation plan, you have to understand the agent compensation plan. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go over a few things with this, right? Here's the first fundamental thing. To become an agent, all right? We got some people in the waiting room too. If you guys could take care of that, that'll be awesome. So look, here's the first thing. with our compensation plan, in order to become an agent, you have to pay your license subscription fee. It's only $9 to get started, right? I call it the excuse remover, right? Because it's only $9 to get started with this opportunity. So here's the first thing that I want to tell you. You can literally get started to earn passive income from the properties through tokenization, or you can get started as an agent to be the one that shares this with other people and earn compensation because of that. You could do both, or you could do either or. Some people don't know that you can actually just pay your $9, become an agent, and you can enroll as a digital real estate agent and start sharing this with other people and then make the money to buy your properties. You can literally do that if you want to. That's an option over here. But I want to clarify something because I've had a couple people reach out to me about this. When you do your agent fee, if you only do the $9 per month, I want you guys to understand that that renews every month. What you want to do is to mark in your calendar, right? I want you guys to mark in your calendar when that actually renews. Why? Because on that day, you need to have money in your e-wallet to pay for that fee each month. Now, some of you all are making commissions and you're transferring money to your e-wallet and all that stuff. That's great. As long as you have money in your e-wallet, you want to make sure you have at least that $9 in your e-wallet if you're paying monthly on your subscription. Why? Why do I tell you this? Because I don't want you to miss out on money. I don't want you to miss out on money. Because here's what happens sometimes to people, right? Is that your agent fee comes about. It's time for your agent fee to be renewed, that $9 a month. You don't have the money in your e-wallet. You haven't logged in, so you don't see it. Then your agent fee is not paid. What happens is you're not an agent at that moment. Hold on. What am I telling you? You're not an agent at that moment. So what does that mean? Somebody can already guess, right? That means that you may miss out on commissions because at that moment, you're not a paid agent. So I want to make sure that you guys are making a note for that, setting it in your calendar when your agent fee renews. Now, if you have the ability, when you get the chance, go ahead and pay for your $90 for the year. Why do I need to pay the $90 for a year and then you don't even have to worry about it? You're good to go. Just pay your $90 for the year. But I want you guys to understand that if you go, I was thinking about this. I actually looked at, I looked this up. I just looked this up the other day. And there's a gentleman who had referred a gentleman. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a gentleman who referred a gentleman that I work closely with now. And he stepped away from this opportunity. The gentleman that introduced the gentleman that I work closely with now, he stepped away from this. He's not promoting this, right? He's not actively involved. But he's also not actively paying his agent subscription. The gentleman that I am working close with is growing fast now. But guess what? Because he's not an active, the gentleman that referred him is not an active agent, he's missing on a whole lot of money. What? I'm just look, I had to cover this because I don't want any of you to miss any money. All right. So look, I'm not gonna harp on that too much long. I just want to give you guys an example that you want to make sure that you stay on top of that. How many of y'all ready? You excited about not missing commissions? Let me see the hearts and hundreds for that. I want you to be excited about not missing. So some people forget about that. Some people that may not have been a thing. They was like, I didn't know that. And I want you to not only take that for yourself, I want you to also share that with your agents, your teams. Say, hey, look, we don't get paid off of the agent renewals, but I just want you to be in position to make the money that you need. I don't want you to miss out on commission. So that's an important part. So we covered that, right? So I just wanted to make sure everybody understands that. Here's the second thing. I mean, y'all gonna get a lot of value out of this because I'm gonna break this thing down. I'm gonna make sure y'all get this, all the money that you can get, you're gonna get, right? So here's the agent compensation. Let me break this down. So you guys hear me in the presentation. Now, I have to present this in a way that we get through all the information, but this is the Agent Accelerator. So I'm gonna slow it down and break it down for you. Here's the agent compensation, right? So when you actually enroll as an agent, right? If you do not have at least $500 of turnover, right? In here, your levels that you get paid on is based on the levels that you have accomplished as an agent. Oh, let me explain. Everybody starts at agent level 0. The levels that you get paid commission on is based on the levels that you are as an agent. Now, typically, this is not a problem, but sometimes this can be a situation for someone who doesn't understand agent compensation. So, if I want to get paid this 6% on my first level, what do I have to be? An agent level 1. Now, if you come in and you purchase $500 of of real estate tokenization, right, a property, then you can, if you do $500 yourself, you automatically qualify yourself for agent level 1. So now anybody that comes after that, no matter what their purchase is, you actually going to get paid for that off on your level 1. You get paid for that. You get paid 6% of whatever they come in with after that. So you've already self-qualified yourself for level 1. But let's say you didn't do that, right? Here's the next way you could do this. If someone comes in your organization and they purchase more than 5,000, I mean, not 5,000, 500. Let me go back. So this, to qualify for agent level 1 commission, you need to have $500 of turnover. Right? So if somebody comes in, you won't have to worry about this. If you share this with somebody and they come in, they purchase a property and they do $1,000. You automatically, that one sale qualifies you for this. So now you earn commissions off of that sale. You're qualified for agent level 1. You don't have to worry about agent level 1 at all anymore. But here's the scenario. Let me give you another scenario. If you come in, you enroll as an agent, you haven't reached $500 of turnover yet, and somebody comes in and they buy $100 worth of property, right? Property tokenization, right? So if they do that and you haven't reached this, you don't get paid commission on that. All right. So, but once you get to the 500, now you qualify yourself for agent level 1. If that's clear with everybody, let me see the hearts and hundreds. Hearts and hundreds. So this is why when I talk to leaders, and here's what can I tell y'all something? Just for me, right? This is just me. Everybody has a different thought process. When I talk to leaders, you are a potential leader for e-estate. Ooh, I can tell who the real e-estate leaders are once you join. When I talk to you, you are a potential leader for e-estate. What? Yeah, there's a lot of people. I understand you may be a leader outside of this. You may have been a leader in other things before. But when I talk to you about e-estate, you're a potential leader for e-estate. Why? Because when I come in and I talk to you, are you going to do leadership things? That's what I'm looking at. If you come in and you like, hey man, I built $1 million things over there before. That's cool. Me too. I have. That's almost no success that other people. I'm not saying no success, but there's almost all the success that people have achieved in different things. I have achieved. So that I'm not easily impressed by that, right? But what I am impressed by a leader who comes in and they know how to build. And so when a leader comes in, they know how to do leadership things. So when they come in, they're like, hey, look, I know how this works. Boom, 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 boom. I put this in place. A leader comes in and they say, hey, look, well, how do I maximize this compensation plan? We have a leader. If they have the ability, right? They come in and they say, well, look, I'm going to go ahead and purchase 10,000. That way I'm automatically set myself up for 3 levels of compensation in my organization. Why? Because I already know how I'm going to build. And this is going to go very fast. I'm going to be 3 levels deep within the first 3 days that I join. What? Yeah, I'm going to be 3 levels deep within the first 3 days that I join because of the things that I'm going to do. So I'm going to position myself to capitalize on as much of this as I can. Now, I'm not judging everybody's situation, but what I am saying is that you lead from the front, right? Not only when you do that, you position yourself to get paid on 3 levels of your organization, but how many of you all know when you lead for the front with a purchase like that, now, when you talk to people, it's easier for them to see it and they come in with a purchase like that themselves. So if you want somebody else to come in, it's crazy to me to be like, hey man, right? You in the situation and you're like, hey man, you should do the 10,000. Well, what did you do? I did 100. All right. So what I'm saying is what I see leaders do and what I've seen leaders do to be successful. They do this. Now you don't mean the 10,000. Maybe your point is 3,000. You do the villa in Los Angeles and you start with 3,000 and now you're getting paid on agent level 1 and 2. You position yourself to to start earning on both of those levels, right? So that's really quick, right? So this is what I want to tell you guys. This is how you do this. I'm trying to give you guys the game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to hold back on it. I'm going to give you guys the real deal. All right. So this is how you do this. Now, you want to get paid on those levels. You want to grow in your own portfolio as well. Here's another thing that I know I learn about leaders. Leaders are going to consistently grow their portfolio. There's incentive for you to do this. Because if you're a leader and you're building out your organization, if you're at 10,000, right? And you getting paid on 3 levels, but what happens when that person comes in on level 4? You don't get paid on that. If you're not level 4 agent yet and somebody comes in on your level 4, you don't get paid on that. So how do I grow this, right? It doesn't have to be just your personal purchases, but sometimes it will be your personal purchases. But it's going to be through you bringing in people as well. So when you bring in people and you have different clients and agents that come on and they start purchasing their own shares of property through tokenization, then you're going to build your turnover. But I want you to understand this, how this breaks down, because some people don't get this. If you personally purchase, 100% of those personal purchases go towards this turnover. When it's your first level, it's 80%. So if somebody, y'all hear me say it in the presentation. If somebody starts with $10,000, 8,000 goes towards your actual turnover here. If they're on your second level and they purchase 10,000, it's $4,000 that goes towards your turnover here. If it's third level, it's 20%. If it's fourth level, it's 10% that goes towards this turnover here. If it's fifth level, it's 5%. I had somebody come in, I was telling my wife about this. The other day, I had somebody come in and they came in on my, I think it was my fifth or sixth level. I can't remember which one. It was on my fifth or sixth level. They came in with 10,000, a little over 10,000. You know how many of y'all know how much volume I got for this? Oh, well, you guys can't get in the chat. How much volume did it count towards my turnover? Right? Let me tell y'all, it's $500. $500 counted towards my turnover. Why? They were on my level 5 or 6. So this is my fifth level. 5% is what counts towards my turnover. So I want you guys to understand how this works, right? Our compensation plan is not a traditional network marketing compensation plan. It is not a MLM. So I don't want you guys to treat it that way. I want you guys to understand how our compensation plan works. Why? Because if that person would have came in with $10,000 at my first level, then that would have been $8,000 that was credited towards my turnover. So for some of you leaders who are like, hey, I got somebody that I know that's going to come in with 10,000, it might not be advantageous for you to say, well, look, I'm going to put that person under my fifth or sixth level. By doing that, you may cut yourself out of commission and also potential level advancement. Now, let me give you a different scenario though. Once you reach agent level 8, why am I so excited about being on the brink of agent level 8? Because at agent level 8, at the current way our compensation plan is, you max the compensation plan at agent level 8. What do I mean by max the compensation plan? At agent level 8, you can say it goes 10 levels. Yeah, but agent level 8, I get paid on all 8 levels of my network that I'm qualified for, because you could do up to 8 levels, right? So at agent level 8, I get paid on all eight levels. And at agent level 8, let me tell you guys the next thing. At agent level 8, as far as profit commission, I'm paid on all 5 levels that I could get paid on. right? All 5 levels that I can get paid on as far as profit commission. At agent level 8, so at 8, I get paid on all 8 levels here. And then profit commission, I'm going to be paid on the 5 levels that I can qualify for here. Now, let me break down how the pay works. So you heard me say I had somebody come in with 10,000 on like my level. It was actually my level 6. So on my level 6, so if they came in with 10,000 on my level 6, that was $500 that would count it towards my volume or my turnover. But what I got paid on my level 6 was 1%. I made $100 off of that. Why? They fell on my 6th level. I got paid 1% of that 10,000. So I got paid over a little over $100. Still good. I had nothing to do with the transaction. It's still good. I didn't have nothing to do with the deal. So it was money I made. So I want you guys to think it's not good money. It's good money. I made 1% off of that. But only reason why I made 1% for that off of that, because I'm an agent level 7 agent. Imagine if I was an agent level 5 and somebody came in at $10,000 on my level 7, and then I didn't get paid anything on that, or my level 6, and I didn't get paid anything on that. Right? So, but because I am agent level 7, I get paid on anything up to my level 7. All right, let me do this real quick. I don't want any distractions, but I gotta make sure that you guys get this right. If I want to make sure that you guys get this. If you understand what I'm saying, drop some ones in the chat right now. In the chat, real quick. I'm gonna close the chat in a second, but y'all drop some ones in the chat real quick for me. If y'all getting it, y'all feeling it. All right. I don't want to harp on it too long, but I want to make sure you guys understand it. All right, there you go. I want to make sure you guys got this. All right, good deal. So we got the ones. I appreciate you guys. Now, so that's what I'm talking about. Now, let me talk about how this profit commission. Can I tell you guys once again, like I said, this profit commission here is where we're going to get a lot of our money, the back end money. Remember, I told you guys on the presentation recently, I said amateurs only get excited about the front end money, but the professionals know the real money is made on the back end, right? So I want you guys to understand how to position yourself for this back end profit commission. So this is how you position yourself right here. You're going to to get this on the level 1, right? You need to be agent level 4. This is why I talk about agent level 4 so much. All my agent level 4s, drop a 4 in the chat for me. All my agent level 4s, drop a 4 in the chat right now. Let me get you guys to do it. There you go. There you go. There you go. I love it. All our agent level 4s. Agent level 4 people, if you're agent level 4 and above, let me put that, because some of y'all like, I'm past agent level 4. Right? I get it. I get it. But agent level 4 and above, right? So all the people who are agent level 4 and above, right? You all qualify for at least your first level. So when you hit agent level 4, you get paid profit commission on your first level here. So this is people you directly referred. Oh, this is good money though. This is real good money. I think I see y'all see why I'm saying it in there. This is good money. So when you are qualified for this at agent level 4, you're earning a 5% match of all of the passive income being paid out in your organization on your level 1. These are people you directly referred. Now, I'm going to show you my back office. I want to make sure I'm clear about this. This is not for enticement. There's compliance things that I'm trying to be compliant. This is not for enticement, but I have to go in my back office to show you guys how this works, right? So let me go into my back office, right? And I want to show you guys this. One way I can show you this is through my notifications. When I go to my notifications, you're going to see agent commission received, commission received, my notifications go off all day, every day. There's a little profit commission paid off on every transaction that's happening through my organization. And right now it's 4 levels deep. Hold on. I want to make sure you guys can see this though, right? Here is, I want you to see it in real time if it'll let me show you guys, right? Let me give it a second. So I want you guys to see this. Not to show people's names, but to show profit commission, 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 profit commission. How many of you all, right now would love to get paid like 100 times a day. Oh, it's a different feeling. Let me see 100s in the chat. In the chat, drop 100s in the chat if you would love to get paid 100 times or more per day. I say 100. It's probably more than that. I've never went in and counted it. It's probably more than that. That is dropping in my boom, 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 boom. It's a different type of thing. So here's what I want you guys to understand: that profit commission is big. Now, let me go back to the presentation really quick, right? This right here, that's just off my first. If I talked about the first level. Now, on second level, you gotta become agent level 5 to qualify for the second level. So this is the incentive for you to get to agent level 5. My guy Daryl Porter just hit agent level 5. So now he's getting paid on his first level and his second level. What? Okay, now why are we hype? Remember, I just celebrated Maurice Jenkins and Lynn Hamilton for hitting agent level 6. Once you hit agent level 6, now you're getting paid on your first level, your second level, and your third level. Profit commission, right? I'm at agent level 7. So now I'm getting paid on first level, second level, third level, and fourth level. Hold on. Now, when I hit agent level 8 and I am like 94% of agent level 8, it's coming very soon. I know it is. So, agent level 8, this means that I am right here. I'm going to get paid on all 5 levels that's possible. Profit commission. So by going to agent level 5, right? I mean, going to agent level 8 allows me to get this 5th level. I give myself a raise. How many of you all understand that in the organization, how many of y'all know it's probably more people and more volume on agent level 5 than it is on my agent level 1? It's more people, right? So as that continues to grow and I have all this volume coming through on my agent level 5, now I'm gonna make 1%. Guys, what if when it gets down to the point that on agent level 5 that there's $10,000 being paid out off of that, and I'm making $100 per day. If it's $10,000 a day being paid on my agent level 5, I'm making $100 a day off of that level. If it's $10,000 a day being paid out on my agent level 4, I'm making $100 off of that level. Imagine your daily income from this. Look, my goal very soon, right? My goal by March of next year is to have this at $1,000 a day. What? My profit commission. My profit commission. $1,000 a day. So when I wake up in the morning, I already know I'm gonna make $1,000 today. Whew. Not off new sales, but just off of my back end profit commission, making $1,000 a day. That's what I'm talking about, guys. And guess what? We're in position to do this. All of us on the call are in position to do this. All right. Now, here's the other thing: bonuses. So I told you, I showed you how this deal commission works. I showed you how profit commission works. You're getting an in-depth, detailed explanation of all of these things right now, right? So profit commission, but then these bonuses, guys, look, don't look. I actually got someone started. G Boss got started, and I celebrated him. He got started for this, right? He started with more than 10,000. Well, his first thing was like 100 or some dollars. Well, I can't remember what it was, but now he's over $10,000, right? So he's over $10,000. He's agent level 3. When he logged in, you know what he said to me, right? He said, "Yo, I got all these bonuses. I got this for doing what I was gonna do anyway." Are you guys talking to your people who come on about the bonus? If they're agents, they're going to get these bonuses just because they enroll and they purchase, right? Hold on. Let me tell you guys, these bonuses are here. But guess what, guys? We got additional bonuses right now. How many of y'all seen the Christmas promo? The bonuses, the Christmas bonuses. You can purchase right now. You get purchased right now and get additional bonuses through this compensation plan. You're going to get all of these bonuses plus more. And I have some people who laugh about our money wheel. They were like, "Oh, the money wheel is not a serious thing." It's a very serious thing to me. Why? Because it's free money. How many of y'all like free money? If you like free money, drop a one in the chat. I just want to know. If you don't like free money, it's probably not the call for you. I like free money. It's free money because it's stuff that I was going to do anyway. Oh, let me make that live for you. It's stuff that I was going to do anyway. Let me go over to the rewards and the achievements. So you guys gonna understand our compensation plan like a big time now. So I'm gonna go back to buyer level one because this is level one achievements. Open an account. How hard is that? That's easy. You get 50 ETK for opening an account. You get 20 ETK for completing your profile data. You get 100 ETK just because you purchased your first property share. You get 10 ETK when you receive profit to your asset balance the first time. You get 50 ETK because you spin the money wheel. You make 5 withdrawals, they give you 50 ETK. You log into your account for 5 consecutive days, they give you 75 ETK. You unlock buyer achievements, you get 5 buyer achievements, you get 50 ETK. Look at all of these different things. When you go to level two, all these different, I get ETK that shows up in my back office. I be like, where did that come from? It's just more money. It's just free money. And that's just one side. Some people don't even know that there's a buyer side, but there's also an agent achievement side. Some people didn't even know that. They was like, where is money coming? Where are these ETKs coming from? You get 50, you help 50 new clients sign up under your agent link. You get 200 ETK. Just because you got 50 people to sign up under your agent link. What? Secure 100 property to sell by inviting in clients to purchase EST. You get 500 ETK. You complete 25 sales in a day by inviting clients to purchase ET. I got this. So just in case you guys thinking this doesn't work, this doesn't happen, 25 sales in a day. I got this. 550 ETK is what I got. What else? Right? Invite 50 first level buyers to make their first real estate purchase. I did that. And just in case, if you guys thought you're wondering if y'all leaders are leading from the front, I told you guys on one of my other presentations that I've already referred personally over 130 people to this. Personally. First level. This proof right here, I invite 50 first level buyers. And when I said, when it says 50 first level, I'm talking about people who actually purchase. 50 buyers. I got 800 ETK for that. Earn over 25,000. Am I making money? Am I making money? Earn over $25,000 from the agent commissions and bonuses. I got 750 ETK for just doing that. Have 20 of your partners who have purchased a real estate agent subscription. I got 700 ETK for that. Oh man, how many of y'all now are excited about our rewards program? If you are, let me see the twos in the chat. See, sometimes you just gotta understand it. You just gotta understand it, guys. I have earned so much money, free money from this rewards program because I got to spin that wheel. I just got to spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Y'all saw me earn. Y'all, what's is crazy? Y'all on Zoom, y'all got to see me win $1,000 from spinning the wheel. If you guys were on, some of y'all got to witness that. I won 1,000. Some of you all before that, you got to witness me winning $100, winning $100 from spinning the wheel, and I got all the amounts in between. Right? That's what this allows you to do. So don't take that for granted either. So the ETK bonuses are good. What other bonuses though? It's crazy. We didn't even start talking. We just talking about bonuses. This is just bonuses, right? Look, but when you hit these agent advancements, these bonuses drop right in your wallet. When I get agent level 9, I'm excited that I'm gonna get 3,000 e-tokens that's dropped right in my wallet. And I'm also going to get $3,000 in cash that's dropped right in my wallet. What? Yeah. This is how good this is, guys. These bonuses are amazing. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you all about the compensation plan. I want to make sure you guys understand how we get complicated, but I mean, not complicated, how we get compensated, right? How we get compensated because it's not complicated. Once you understand it, you can maximize it. All right. And I know I spent a little bit of time on that, but this is probably how many of y'all, this is the first time someone broke down the compensation plan like this for you. If this is your first time, drop a 3 in the chat for me. Somebody broke it down and made sure that you understand all the components and aspects of the compensation plan. Anybody, if some of y'all might have already known this, but I wanted to break it down and make sure you guys understand it. Right? There you go. I wanted to break down this compensation plan for you. Right? So that's why I get so excited about our compensation plan and learning how to get leaders to maneuver this. Like get leaders to understand how you move through this, how you strategically do things. See, sometimes you might have to come in. Can I tell you the truth, leaders? If sometimes if I'm a leader and I'm at agent level 3 and I'm about to get to agent level 4, but I know I just enrolled a big leader on agent level 4, I might have to make a purchase to go from 3 to 4. Because I'm not going to miss out on, because what if it's a big leader that coming in and you don't know if they're going to come in with $50,000? What if they're going to come in with 50,000? They're coming in on your level 4. Somebody coming in on your level 4, they're going to come in with 50,000. You at level 3. So if you don't get to level 4 before they purchase, you're going to miss out on that commission. How much commit? Let me see if you guys understand the compensation plan. They come in on your level 4 and they come in with $50,000. How much commission would you make? Who knows? They on your level 4. They come in on your level 4 and they purchase. It's 2%. What's that 2% of 50,000? $1,000. How many of you are like, I don't know about you. I ain't letting $1,000 slip out the whip. What? I'm not letting $1,000 go out the window. And then so the amateur person would say, "Oh, it's just $1,000 I'm missing." No. Do you understand? You want to get as high as you want because once you get to earning that profit commission off of that at level 4, so when you get to like level 4, you getting to earn that profit commission, and then that's 1% a day off of that whatever they're making on a daily basis. How long? Come on now. That's the long-term money. So I wanted you guys to understand. So I know I harped on that quite a bit, but I wanted to give you guys some basic foundation so you understand this and how profitable this is, right? And so we got one of the best compensation plans out there, and what I believe is one of the most sustainable compensation plans out there as well, right? But here's what I know. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into some other stuff. We're gonna wrap it up with this stuff. This is scheduled for a 2-hour session, so I'm gonna make some other stuff live for you guys. Um, I'm trying to think if before I get into the other stuff, if there's anything else I want to cover, right? So you guys know the Christmas bonus. How about Power 25? How many are y'all in the holiday challenge as well? Who's in the holiday challenge? Who joined the holiday challenge? If you joined the holiday challenge, I want y'all to drop 4 in the chat. Drop a 4 in the chat. If you joined the holiday challenge, how many people did? Daryl Porter's in there. I know I joined. CY joined, right? How many other people took on the challenge? All right, we got a few people. I took on that challenge. Why? Because this is lucrative. I want to challenge first of all, I'm the biggest competitor with myself, not really with other people, but with myself. I wanted to see how good could I be? Right? And so that Power 25 challenge is incredible. We also got the Christmas promo. Those things are incredible. So those are out there. But I also want to tell you guys this, right? One of the things, and I usually don't go over this, but I want to make sure you guys understand this. So withdrawals, right? Our withdrawals are some of the fastest withdrawals in the industry, hands down, right? So I love our withdrawals. Here's what I do want you guys to understand. So you can withdraw anytime you decide to withdraw. right? Whenever you want to do a withdrawal, you can do it. Withdrawal. Once it's in your e-wallet, you do this. Now, what I want you guys to understand, there is a difference between you having it in your agent balance or your profit balance and it being in your e-wallet. It has to be transferred. These are not withdrawals. Because somebody asked me, said, well, that withdrawal did. No, this is a transfer. This is a transfer from your agent balance to your e-wallet, and this is a transfer from your profit balance to your e-wallet, right? So you have to transfer from these balances up here. But once it's up here, this is just I count this just like it being, all not just like it being, but like this right here, I can automatically do a withdrawal, and this hits my wallet, my personal crypto wallet, right? So you can transfer this over there. I'm gonna do this today. So this is what I'm gonna withdraw today, right? So I withdrew everything from my profit balance and my agent balance about an hour ago. Or is it? Yeah, it was about an hour ago. But y'all want to see how cool our compensation plan is? I made $50 in that hour. I transferred all my funds from the agent balance and the profit balance about an hour ago. So it was here in my e-wallet. And now I've already made $50 more in my agent balance. Right? So this is how this works, guys. So this transfer, now it's better. This is just me, my personal opinion. It's better to do these transfers during the day. They're faster during the day, right? When you transfer from agent balance to e-wallet balance, you'll notice that there's a little bit of time before it hits your e-wallet. These take a little bit of time, right? So I say if you do it at night, it may take a couple hours. If you do it during the day, it may take about 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes I see it faster than that. Earlier in the day, it's easier and faster for these, not easier, but faster for these withdrawals these transfers to happen to your e-wallet. But don't worry, it's I want to tell you guys, I just want to give you that heads up, right? So that is the way that works. Now you can withdraw in whatever you want to. Let me give you guys a couple of things. I'm trying to make sure I give you as much value as possible. So when you withdraw, you have several tokens that you can withdraw from, right? You can withdraw with. They have you can withdraw with Bitcoin. You can withdraw, but you want to program all your withdrawal addresses into. You go to your settings. I don't want to pull up mine right now because it'll expose my information. But you go in and you can program all of your withdrawal addresses into the system, right? So you will have them there. It'll give you the opportunity to withdraw with those tokens, right? So once you withdraw with those tokens, the only thing that you want to keep in mind is that every blockchain has its own speed, put it that way, right? So here's what I like. I like USDT, right? So I personally withdraw my profits with USDT on the Binance Smart Chain. That's me. It's fast, it's easy, boom. It's just like that. USDT, Binance Smart Chain. It's fast, easy, and cheap. And cheap. It's a big one too, right? Y'all want y'all to catch that. It's cheap, right? So now there you go. G-Boss brought up a good thing. There's a 1% withdrawal fee when we do withdrawals, which is like, this is industry leading, right? Because I've been in platforms, and y'all probably have too, when it's like 5 to 10% to withdraw, right? We get ours 1%. 1% withdrawals when you want to do it. So I just wanted to make sure anybody knew. I want you guys to understand that. That's how it works with our withdrawals. We got several tokens. If you want to withdraw with Solana, if you want to withdraw with some of the other things that are out there, there's a lot of different things out there. Choose your withdrawal method. We don't tell you which one to use. I personally use USDT BEP20. Now, let me give you all a heads up too. So something to be aware of, right? First is the dynamic addresses of some platform. So like Cash App, I've had somebody that would program their Cash App Bitcoin deposit address in there. But if you notice, right, your Cash App deposit address for Bitcoin changes. When you go back in and go out and it changes, that deposit address change. So I want you guys to be aware of that, right? So a lot of people trying to, just get the quick result of saying, hey, look, let me just withdraw the Cash App. But that Cash App address changes. Here's another thing I want you guys to keep a heads up on too. If you're using the Coinbase exchange, I've had that address change on me before too. Now, I haven't had any issues with it because even though it was like an old address, because I would go in, I'm like, this is a different address than the address I got programmed in here. It still went through to my wallet. But I want you guys to understand some addresses like on things will change. So I like to use static addresses that are come with things like your MetaMask wallet, your Exodus wallet, your Ledger wallet, your Tangent wallet, your all the other wallets. Everybody has different SafePal. There you go. Everybody has different ones that they use. So use the one that's best for you. But those wallets use a static address, right? Now you can, if somebody said, well, I want to cash out on Cash App, you can. First, send your Bitcoin to your static wallet address, like your Exodus. So if you send it to your Exodus first, and then you can send it over to Cash App to cash out if you want to. Right? You can send it over to Cash App at that in real time. You say, look, pull up that deposit address in Cash App, send it over from your Exodus to Cash App, and then cash out. You can sell the Bitcoin and cash out on Cash App. You can do that on Coinbase. You can do that on several things, and you can withdraw your funds if you're ready to liquidate, right? You can do those things, but I wanted to make sure you guys understand that, right? So a lot of people are like, hey, look how I turn these profits into real cash that I can spend. These are some ways. And plus, you guys, make sure you attend Brandon Ivy's crypto where you can get all the real deal breakdown of all this stuff. This is why we have it. So you guys understand crypto, right? Yeah, Cash App is becoming very strict. Here's the other thing that I want to tell you guys, right? Here's the other thing I wanted to share with you guys is our deposit addresses change. When you're depositing money in to estate to your e-wallet, when you go to do that deposit, always go get the new address. If I'm ready to do a deposit, I open my e-wallet here, right? I open my e-wallet and then I say I'm gonna do a deposit here. And it says, hey, look, what coin do you want to use to deposit? And I choose a coin here, right? And I say, well, look, I'm gonna use, let's just say Tether BEP20. And then I'm just gonna say in general here, I'm gonna do $100, and then I'm gonna confirm this, right? So I confirm this. You see, it gives me an address here, right? So you see this address starts with C2, well, it ends in C28F, right? Don't nobody try to send no money over to my wallet address anyway. I don't think y'all gonna do that anyway. So, but if I do that, right? Now, if I go back, this time is the same, right? But when you go back with some of these, if you go back a different time, it'll give you a different wallet address. So when that's a different wallet address, don't try to save that wallet address that you use one time and use it over and over again. Here's a crypto rule of thumb. Always verify what addresses you are sending money to. You're sending crypto to, rather. Whatever, always verify. How many of y'all verify? If you verify, drop a 5 in the chat. Always verify. When I do withdrawals, guess what I do? I verify. Why? Some crazy might have went on with the system. So when I go in here and I say I'm gonna do a withdrawal right here, I go look at my withdrawal address. Let me see if this right. Right? I'm gonna say, let me see if this withdrawal address right. It'll be crazy. You guys start doing your withdrawals, right? And then you do a withdrawal and it's $1,000. You do a withdrawal and you have the wrong withdrawal address in there, and then it's crypto. It's gone. Right? So make sure you verify. Trust, but verify. Right? Always with everything. Make sure that you verify your stuff. So I don't know what made me go down that tangent, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that, right? Now, here's what the great thing is. If that situation ever occurs, what I want you guys to do, hopefully you guys are attending the crypto education sessions with I'm saying Brian, with Brandon Ivy, right? Make sure you're attending those sessions. Why? Because what I want you guys to be able to do is to go into your wallet and get that transaction hash. Let's just say you send it to a deposit address that's on eEstate, but it changed, right? So you look, boom, be able to go into your wallet, get that deposit hash, get that address and everything, so you can contact support and say, hey, this is what happened. I sent it over to an address that I got previously. Here's the exact amount of crypto I sent, and here's the transaction hash that I sent it to. This is only with deposits, not with withdrawals. I don't want you don't hit eEstate up with the withdrawal, right? But with your deposits, hit them up because they may be able to locate it and verify that transaction for you. That helps somebody? If that helped you, drop a 6 in the chat, right? I can't go over how to find your transaction hash and all the other stuff, right? Right now. But if you guys get what I'm saying, make sure you understand how to get that transaction hash from your wallet for that transaction, all that type of stuff. You want to be able to look at that, right? And be able to get that, to be able to send that for research to the company if you're trying to reconcile a deposit. All right. So I just wanted to give y'all that. All right. So that is that. Now let's go into the stuff that I love, right? Because all of this is the fundamentals and the technical stuff that here. But what I think moves the needle the most, right? I think that, which not even think, I know moves the needle the most, right? Is the mindset and your approach to success. This has done the greatest thing for me. And I want you guys to understand this because these are things that I've used to accelerate my success, right? And I want you guys to get this, and I think this is going to help you. And some of y'all, is going to look very familiar to you all, right? This is going to look very familiar to you all because I want to say I didn't reinvent the wheel. I found the one that moves the fastest and I use it, right? So let's talk about this right here. We're going to talk about the 4 basics to success, right? And I use this right here. And we're going to go through this pretty fast, but I want you guys to get it. I'm going to confirm that you guys got it, right? So here are the 4 basics to success with eEstate. I want you to make sure that your new agents understand this and you understand this. First one that I want to talk about is mentorship, real mentorship. All right. Now, there's a lot of people that tune this part out, but I want to tell you guys, this is where you're going to get the most. If y'all listening right now, I want to make sure, drop a 7 in the chat. I want y'all to get this because if you get this, you can accelerate your success in anything that you do, right? You get this. Mentorship is so important. Who you listen to is so important. Who you got to decide who you're going to listen to. In deciding who you're going to listen to, you know what you also got to do? Decide who you're not going to listen to. Woo. I want y'all to get this. You got to decide who you're going to listen to. Find someone that can be your mentor. You need to find someone that you respect. You need to find someone who has achieved, who's already done what you're trying to do. That's who needs to be your mentor, right? And some of y'all need to go in and this is what you need to do is you need to hey, going into 2026, who am I going to be listening to? Who has achieved what I want to achieve? Who is leading the way? Who do I respect enough to listen to what they say and implement what they say? Right? Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people are looking, they're trying to find a good mentor. But one thing I want to break down, and I want you to assess about yourself, are you a good mentee? Uh-oh. Hold on. Are you a good mentee? And I'm not telling you, I'm telling you what I know works, and I'm telling you what I had to do myself. I have a mentor, and I had to decide who I was going to listen to in this season. There's a lot of good voices, but then there's some right voices for you. There's a lot of people talking good stuff, but are they the right one to be leading you at the moment, right? So you got to find the right mentor for the moment that you're in, the season that you're in. Who is that mentor that's moving you to that next level of success? Now, when I say, are you a good mentor? It's like, what's your teachability? How teachable are you? I get a lot of people who say, "Oh, Anthony, I need you to mentor me. I want you to mentor me. I want you to do this. I want you to do that." But what I judge it by, I want to see if you're a good mentee. What's your teachability index? What is your willingness to learn and grow, right? But here it is. This is your learning, your willingness to learn and grow multiplied by your willingness to change. Woo, right? Your willingness to learn, but what is also your willingness to change? See, you would get the information and you'll say, "Well, Anthony, when I tell you something, I'll be like, hey, look, this is probably, I'm giving you some insight on something." And you say, okay, but then you come back, but you know, the way that I do this is, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm gonna let you do that. But it's your willingness to say, hey, look, let me change this. I want to change it. I have to do that with my mentor. He says, look, this is one of the things he says. And I said, oh, but you know what? I usually do this way. He said, do you want your way or do you want the way? Right. And I was like, okay, I get it. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it this way. Right. I want you to make sure that you are willing to learn, but you're also willing to change and transform. Some of the things that you're used to doing, you may have to switch up. Your mentor may tell you a different way of doing it. It may not be the way you're used to doing it, right? Be able to receive that. Here's the other thing, the training balance scales, right? Here's what this is what the training balance scales is where I see progress happen as well. Here's the training balance scale. There is what you call learned knowledge, right? There's one level of knowledge, which is learned knowledge. And you're going to get that. You come in, you come to the presentation, you learn knowledge, right? But then there's a level that you go to when it's not just learned knowledge, right? When you're able to, when it's application knowledge, where you're able to go put that knowledge to work for you actually go out and do it. You learn something different. There's nuances that you learn when you do something more than just learn about it, right? It's you can read about it in a book, you can hear it on the presentation, you can do all that stuff, but it's when you put it into action. When I talk about how you talk to people, what you post on social media, or those types of things, it's when you do it and you experience it, and all of that stuff is when that's a different level of knowledge. But those of you all who are leaders, you're going to eventually get into the point where there's teaching knowledge. Because you got to teach this to somebody else. There's a different level when you have to share this information. You guys came and got the information about the compensation plan now. Now, there's a certain level of knowledge as you pretend you apply it, you learned it, you read about it, you heard it. Now, when you go teach this to somebody else, there's going to be some epiphany moments. There's going to be some things that you have, and that's when you're going to really get this inside, is when you got to teach it to somebody else. That's a different level of responsibility, right? So I want to tell you guys that this is some of the important stuff that I want you guys to get when it comes to that, right? There's different learning methods of it. Some of you all are going to get it by reading. Some of you all are going to get it by listening. Some of you all are going to get it by watching. Whatever's your best way to get it, here's what I want you to do. Immerse yourself. Immersion it increases conversion. All right. Then you look here's we have stages of learning as far as when it comes to when you have unconscious competence, right? Unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence means that you don't know that you don't know. So a lot of y'all start and the compensation plan stuff that was coming on, and you were like, I didn't know that. You didn't know that you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I want to dispel that fact, that myth that what you don't know won't hurt you. Yes, it will. That's why we want you to become educated. That's why we're doing so much around education, right? But once you move from unconscious incompetence to you go to the point where you consciously incompetent. You're like, now I've been on this. I realize I don't know as much about this thing as I knew. I thought I knew. I don't know. Right? And then you're going to move through this, right? To the point The level of mastery is where you become unconsciously competent. What do I mean by that? You don't even have to think about it. It's so ingrained in you that it's automatic. All the things that you do, it happens automatically. That's unconscious. That's mastery level right there. How many of y'all want to get the mastery, right? You want to get the mastery when it comes to success and estate? Drop some sevens in the chat. How many of y'all ready to get the mastery, right? This is where you're unconsciously competent. You get the move. It's just like you guys ever like now you have to think about driving. You don't have to think about driving. Why? You've been driving so long. It's like I just drive. Some of y'all, how many of y'all have ever ended up at your destination and you've been zoned out, don't know how you got to your destination while you was driving? But it's so you're so unconsciously competent at driving that you weren't even actively thinking about it and you made it to your destination because that's that level right there, right? That's unconscious competence. That's the level of mastery that you want to get to, right? I'm telling you guys. Now, I was on a call one time before, and I told you guys that I was going to teach on this as well. So I want to break this down. The 4 levels of value. Ooh, this is going to help somebody. I gave y'all that part. We're moving on right now. I'm gonna get through all of this today. The 4 levels, not only four, this is the 4 levels of income creation. I want y'all to get this, the 4 levels of income creation, and this applies to e-estate. I apply this to e-estate as well. So here's the 4 levels of income creation. The first level is implementation. This is not only in e-estate, but this works for e-estate as well, but it's not only for e-estate. This is for life in general. Implementation involves hands-on work. This is actively generating income, right? This is part of where a lot of us start, right? But this is not where you should stay. And you're going to progress through these levels over time. What do I mean? So you're going to start out with implementation. You're going to be sharing this with people. You're going to be inviting a lot of people. A lot of that upfront work is going to take that. Here's one thing I want to tell you guys. That upfront, as a leader, that upfront work is necessary. You have to commit a certain amount of time that you're willing to do the implementation work first. How many of y'all willing to do it? If you're willing to start at level 1, drop the 1 in the chat for me. The first level is implementation, right? But let me tell you this. It's the lowest level of income creation. Now we have a unique opportunity over here with e-estate in the way our compensation plans that we get compensated pretty well by just directly sharing this with people and being the person that does that. But there's only a certain level that you go because you're still putting yours. See, a lot of people come in and stay at this level because they're used to a job and they still got an employee mentality. They're still work. See, if you stay in this phase, even though you have a great company like e-estate, what happens is you stay on the left side of money, which is on, if we understand, the left side of money is where poor and middle class people play the most of the time. Where rich and wealthy people play is on the right side of money. And when you hear me say left side of money and right side of money, I'm talking about the cash flow quadrant that's been created by Robert Kiyosaki. On the left side of money, you have self-employment and employees. You got self-employed employees. They have one mindset about money, right? Those are people who have a job and people who own a job. I ain't trying to look. I may start there, but I ain't trying to stay there. What is on the right side of money? And on the right side of money, we have business systems and investing. Those are people who understand right now they own systems and they put money to work for them. That's on the right side of money where you want to decide, like, hey, even though you're going to play, you may play on both sides. You want majority, you want to move majority of your things and the majority of the way that you operate to the right side of money. All right. Now, so implementation is the first thing. But you guys, once you start referring people and you have people in your organization, you're going to go to unification. Now, unification is focusing on organizing and managing teams. Remember, I told you, when you bring people on, now you're starting building a team. You started bringing people in. Now, once you got a team and you start building a team, here's what I want you to do. This is where you take your eyes off yourself and you put them on someone else. So you find out, hey, When you bring somebody on, what's important to you? What are your goals? What are you looking to get out of this? And then you help them achieve their goals. You help them develop to where they want to be, where they want to go, and more importantly, who they want to become. Right? And you help them with that. You bring people together, unification. Now, in e-estate, this is on building teams, right? In the world, you outside of e-estate, this may be like on a job. These are your managers. Here's the difference. In implementation, there's one level of income that you can earn, but once you go to unification, the people who build teams, they earn more money than the people who implement. The people who manage teams, they earn more money than the people who implement. Now, typically in the world, right? Let me tell you the income levels. You usually can earn anywhere between $50,000 to $60,000 just being an implementer. Think about the people who implement, the people who work at the hotel who do all the hotel work. They don't make as much money as the managers. They don't make as much money as the directors. They don't make as much money as the owners, right? So they're the implementers. They're the lowest level. They can usually get up to 50 to 60,000. Unification. Once you become that mid-level manager, you start managing teams. You can now increase your income. And even like with e-estate, you can put yourself to the point where you're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, right? So that's with becoming a manager. But then there's a different level where you can start going to the level of communication. This is level 3. Level 3 is where now you're going to be playing a little bit less of a role of implementation. You're still there. When it comes to unification, you've developed and raised some people up that can now, right? They can now step up and start managing instead of you having to manage. But now you can step into the role of communication, right? So this is where you get involved in strategies on now what you're communicating, ideas and frameworks and things like this, and you're mostly communicating that to the managers. You communicate that. You may do it to the entire community, but you're communicating that to other leaders. I have I actually check in with the senior agents in my organization once a week. Every week we have a little check-in. I'm sharing the vision, I'm sharing ideas, I'm sharing things like that. That's my communication role. So you don't see me all the time in all the chats. It's not because I don't want to be in all the chats, but we have people who are doing those things, right? That's the communication. The people who operate in communication, they make more. Look, can I tell you guys, learning how to be an effective communicator is one of the best things that you could ever do. Can I give y'all some books that help me? I want to give you some books. Here's one, right? One book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie. Anybody read it yet? If you read it, drop a 2 in the chat. How many people read it so far? How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's one. Let me give you another one that I love for this. Becoming a Person of Influence by John Maxwell. Powerful books. Becoming a Person of Influence by John Maxwell. Incredible book. Learn the art of communication. Learn the art of influencing and how to do this, right? 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. It's another one, right? There you go. Daryl's dropping it in there for you guys. There you go. These are things that you need, right? Learn the art of communication. Now, when you go from the art of that communication, now, when you go to the level of imagination, this level is available for e-estate as well, right? But I always say this is not only involve your company and opportunity, but this transcends it, right? Because now when you get to the level when you influence things with your mind, when you use your mind, right? When you learn to use your mind, let me tell you different things. So you guys know I'm a strategic growth partner with e-estate. So now I use my mind to come up with things for e-estate. And I'm not ashamed to say, you guys know that the Miami Summit was birthed out of my mind, right? This was something, the idea and the concept that I had. The things that we were doing. The Agent Accelerator that we're on right now, this was a concept. This was birthed out of my mind. What do we need on a consistent basis? How do we make sure that people are getting what they need, right? All of the things. Now I'm using my mind. Do you know when this is the imagination? And I didn't talk about the income level. So communication, income level, that's going to take you from 150 to usually about $250,000 a year, right? That's what type of income you usually earn by mastering up to that level. But once you get to the imagination level, this is the seven-figure earner level and above. How many of y'all drop the sevens in the chat? You want to be a seven-figure earner? Almost every seven-figure earner that you know has imagined how they learn how to use their mind to make things happen. They learn how to use their mind in a different way and on a different level, right? Now, when you go into this level, here's some books. I'm gonna give y'all some books, right? So, imagination. One of them is I want you guys to read is The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big. All right? Great book. That's going to open your mind up to thinking on new levels. Thinking on new levels. Right? So I want you guys to get that. What else? Right? And this is one that may be a little bit different, but Boss Moves by Myron Golden. Business Optimization Success Secrets from $1 Million Roundtable. Incredible book. He talks about the different levels and getting to that level, right? Of you being there. So these are just some different books. How many of you all read The Magic of Thinking Big though? So I want to give y'all, I'm gonna give y'all three on this one. So I said Myron Golden's Boss Moves, right? And I said Magic of Thinking Big. Here's another one. Think and Grow Rich. I want to know how many people have read. I know y'all read it. If you read Think and Grow Rich, drop an 8 in the chat for me. Think and Grow Rich. Anybody read that one? Okay, we got some 8s in there. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. I love it, right? This book, can I tell y'all where I focus though? Where I focus on this one, I go in and I focus on the self-confidence formula. I read the book, I read the whole book, but what do I return to all the time? The self-confidence formula, right? I read it all the time. I'm right there. Self-confidence formula. Telling you guys right there. Momentum makers. There you go. Incredible. Daryl's putting some books in there. So guys, here's what I also want to tell you. The best leaders, what they do, the best leaders is they're always focusing on growing through personal development. They never stop learning. You know, the leaders that grow the slowest is the ones that think they know everything. Ooh. I want to tell you, look, the leaders who are always seeking growth and success and personally developing themselves and understanding they don't know everything. It's the ones that think they know everything. The ones that always that they're like always doing this. I want to tell you guys, I never put myself in a position I know everything. I get in rooms and I be quiet because I get in rooms with people who made $100 million. I'm sitting there, it's nothing I want to try to teach you. Right? I'm trying to get all that I can out of those rooms. When I get in the rooms around billionaires, people who make hundreds of millions of dollars, all this type of stuff. I'm trying to get what I'm trying to. I'm not gonna go in there and try to tell you something. I get it, and guess what? The people who have done that, they're not gonna fight you on your stuff. They already got it. Why you come to them and you try to fight them on their principle? I get people who get on calls with me. Well, I think this is the way it should work. I think this is the way it should be done. This is that. Okay, cool. Do that. Let me know how that works out for you. Do that. Right? I ain't got no problem. I'm not hating. I ain't got no problem. I'm just like, do that. Like, just do it. We'll check back. And then when you come back and say, well, I don't understand why it ain't working. Are you ready to listen? You ready to listen? Right? I want you to get it. But this is a voluntary thing, right? So I want you guys to get that. This is where where you get to this level. Now, everybody operates in some of these levels in some ways, right? So everybody operates in some of these levels. I still implement, I still invite people, I still do some of that work, but majority of what I do is on the imagination level. Majority of what I do is on these two levels right here, communication and imagination. No wonder, right? Like, hey, look, I operate in the higher income levels because this is where I spend most of the time. Now, here's what I don't want anybody to do. Don't try to jump abruptly from one level to another. You need to still be in implementation. Don't fully move over to unification if you got two people, right? Like you like I'm moving over to unification. I'm gonna manage these two that I got. Right? I want y'all to get that. Don't try to jump too abruptly over here. You're gonna start operating over here because you have somebody, right? Now that's gonna grow occasionally, and you're gonna grow, and so you don't have to do as much implementation. That most of your effort is gonna be in unification. Then you're gonna have your effort that grows into communication, right? And then you're gonna be doing all three of these, but what's gonna shift is the amount of effort that you spend in each one. All right. So hopefully people are getting that. Right. So I want to talk about the four levels of income creation. Right. Now, as we're going into 2026, we're going to have some standards, guys. Here's what I want to tell you guys. Most people only think about rising to their goals, but here's what a lot of successful people understand, that you don't just rise to your goals, but you fall to your standards. Ooh. Hold on. You don't just rise to your goals. What you also want to think about is that you fall to your standards. And what I realize is some people get to their goals, right? And their goals up here to a certain height, but they never raise their floor, the standards. And once you raise your standards, that's where your real quotient will be. Your money quotient, right? Your success quotient, all of those, you got to raise that standard. All right? All of that. If you don't raise that standard, here's what you will notice. You will have peaks and valleys. So here's what'll happen. If you don't raise your standard, you will be like, hey, man, I earned $100,000. But then the next month it came down and you was like, I earned like $10,000. Why? You didn't really raise your standard. It was your peak, but it wasn't your standard. Now there's always going to be peaks and standards, but the thing is, you gotta gradually raise that standard. So you will never. So like, if your standard, you'll be like, hey, look, my money standard is that I'm making six figures a year. How many of y'all? Look, how many of y'all? A good standard would be six figures a year for you. Put six in the chat if that would be good, right? Six figures a year. I'm not saying that that's going to be all of it, right? Six, but six figures a year. Like if you be like, hey, if I fail to my standard, six figures a year is still a good income for me to get by. There you go. Six figures a year, right? And some of y'all this is what I don't like about social media. Some people get down on six figures. Do y'all do know that $500,000 a year is six figures, right? $500,000 a year is six figures. See, there's some people got mindset when you say six figures, all they think is $100,000. Don't let that be your mindset, right? You understand what six figures really is, right? So if you say, look, I'm falling. When I fall, my standard is here. So here's what we're going to talk about, the standards that we're going to have. There you go. There you go. Daryl said 900,000 is six figures. All right. So here's what our standards are going to be. These are going to shape our success for 2026. What we're going to be is impeccable with our words. First of all, this is a book. Y'all can tell I'm a reader. I'm a reader, right? I am a reader. Have y'all ever read The Four Agreements? If you read The Four Agreements, drop a 4 in the chat for me. There's a book called The Four Agreements. Oh, we got some readers on here. I love it. We got some readers on here. There you go. Look, here's our four agreements. Impeccable with our word. Look, every single leader on here, I want you to be impeccable with your word. You're going to speak with integrity all the time. Your words hold power. Ensure they align with your values and truth. Speak. Look, here's be impeccable with your word to yourself. That's where a lot of people forget it. Your word to yourself. You know why a lot of people don't achieve next level success? They don't trust themselves. You know, I tell people all the time, a lot of time it's not you. When you approach somebody, they know what they not gonna do. So you may be telling the truth. You might be got some good stuff going on and you bring it to them, but because their word is not impeccable with themselves, their word doesn't even mean anything with themselves because every time that they say they're going to do something, they don't do it. So it's not you. It's the fact that they don't trust themselves. Now, me as a leader, you as a leader, what we do is we see things, right? We see where a person is, but what our commitment is not to let you stay there. So I want you to start being impeccable with your word. And it starts with the small things, right? So it starts when you say you're going to do something, do it. When you say you're going to be on the presentation, be on the presentation. When you say you're going to follow up, follow up. When you're going to say you're going to do the things that you're going to do it. Be impeccable with your word. Make it so you believe yourself. It gives you more confidence in you. You go to higher levels because you believe, hey, look, you know what? I know if I commit to it, I'm going to do it. Hold yourself accountable. All right? And be impeccable with your word. Here's the next thing, personal responsibility. Avoid taking offense. I just led into this one, right? Here's the other thing. Don't even let no's. Somebody's no does not define your success. Somebody else's no never defines your success. Well, I went to them and they said no. Man, they're a major influencer. Man, they're major. There's a major person. Man, they got a lot of money. Man, they're multimillionaires. They said no, or they're not doing what it. Look, you know what? That doesn't. That has nothing to do with me, right? That reflects their own experiences, their own stuff that they got going on. It's not about you, right? I want you guys to don't take offense to it. Here's the other thing: don't take offense to it because things change. So a lot of people they mess up because they cut off people because when you approach them during that season, they may have had their own personal stuff going on, their experience, whatever. And then during that time, what you do is you end up burning a bridge which you should have kept because that person could cross back over that bridge later on. So you don't take offense to it because if you take offense to it, you may take the wrong action and then you actually push away somebody that could be a blessing to you later on. All right? Take personal responsibility. Oh man, look, here's what I don't want to hear leaders say. Well, my team isn't doing this. Well, my team ain't doing this. Man, my team, my team this, my team that, my team this. Mm-mm. That's not what we do as leaders. All what we do as leaders, we set the example. We go out and do what we're supposed to do. We go back, we ask them, how can we help? How can we support you? We work with the people who are ready. We help cultivate and grow the people who are not ready yet, but they will be ready, right? We go out and we lead with inspiration. We lead with motivation. We lead with what we're doing, right? And we don't look, I'm telling you guys, I don't want you to just talk about your leaders. As a matter of fact, most of the time I go back and I look at myself. If people aren't doing, I say, well, let me look at me. Let me look at me, right? What am I doing? Mm. All right, here's the other thing. So that's personal responsibility. No assumptions. Clarify instead of guessing. Do you know how many things have been messed up because of this? No, because assuming, you know what we say, assuming makes a out of you and me. Assuming makes a out of you. All right, y'all get what I'm saying, right? Assuming makes a out of you and me. So here's what I want to tell you. Misunderstandings arise from assumptions. Seek clarity in communication and interaction. A lot of times what we said was received in a different light than the what we intended when we said it. Mm. So you said one thing, they received something else. Both of y'all assuming there was clear communication, and now y'all opposed to each other just because you didn't ask for clarity. I want to know exact. A lot of times people ask me something. So what you really mean is, so what you're thinking is, right? I don't like to assume anything. Can I tell you how this applies in another way, right? Here's how this applies in another way. Stop assuming everybody that you meet knows everything. I was talking to my wife, and we usually had these conversations. I want to talk to y'all about this, right? I was talking to my wife, and we had these conversations, and I said, here's the thing. I approach every situation, every person, and every room, understanding that whoever I talk to, everybody needs something. Do y'all realize that? Everybody, no matter who you are talking to, needs something. I don't care if they're a millionaire, a billionaire, super successful, whatever level whatever they're teaching, all of that other stuff. I want to tell you that they need something. So the bad part is for you to assume that they don't need anything, to assume that you can't bring any value to their life, to assume that everything is going perfectly for them. You cannot assume that. I'm not saying the stuff is bad, but everybody needs something. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. If I'm a millionaire in the desert and there's no water, and you come around and you got a bottle of water, do you know how valuable you are to me? But you're going to assume, well, he's a millionaire. He's in the middle of the desert, right? He ain't got no water. You got water. You are super valuable, right? That you got can I bring it to what we're doing? You got somebody that you see online, they're very successful. They got the Lamborghini, they got the big house, they got all the trappings of success. But when can you do you know that you can approach that person and that sometimes they're broke at a higher level? I'm not saying this is with everybody, and I don't want you to think this is with everybody. But what do I mean? They strap for cash. They're cash flow negative. You don't know it. You would never know it from the outside, but they're cash flow negative. And you saying, I'm not going to bring this to them because look what they got. You made the assumption. And then you see them sign up with somebody else because there was like, they signed up with somebody else because somebody said, hey, look, hey, you want to earn some passive cash flow through real estate without having to be a landlord? I'm going to show you how tokenization is changing the way we do real estate. Hold on. Let me listen to that. You mean I can earn some passive cash flow? Yeah. As a matter of fact, we got an agent opportunity you could take advantage of right now. You create some cash flow on that end too. If you need some right now money, it'll happen for you. What? I got a whole network of people. All right, cool. Let's do this. All right, let's do this. I need the cash flow. I got money in a real estate investment that's tied up. I got money. I gotta pay these. I got these this taxes. I gotta pay this tax bill that I ain't know about that came in. I just had to pay $1.5 million in taxes, and now I need cash flow. So you thinking there's no opportunity there by making an assumption, you messing yourself up. Stop making assumptions. Don't make assumptions that people are not interested. Don't make assumptions that people won't listen to you. Don't make assumptions that anything. Approach everything like I genuinely want to provide value to every situation that I find myself in. And so, being that that's the case, you know what? Become a person that asks questions. I ask questions. Hey man, we're going into 2026. Bro, like talk to your friends. Like, hey, look, man, we about to go into 2026, yo. Like, what you working on this year? What you planning on doing? You got some goals you already set? Be the different friend. All right. So just so I can move through this. The fourth one is do your best. Always do your best. Always do your best. And this may seem simple, But I want to tell you this right here also builds you up as a leader so that you show up better in any environment that you're in because you know you always do your best. Commitment to your best, right? Commitment to your best. And say, look, when I show up in here, I'm showing up with my best. Look, here's one. I strive to every single session that I get on, whether it's a presentation, whether it's private, whether it's a corporate presentation, whether it's this agent accelerator, no matter what I'm getting on, I'm showing up in all of my potential. You know why? Because I said this is my commitment. This is my commitment. Somebody's expecting to hear something when they get on these calls. They don't want to see me. Oh man, this is estate, and you know you can make some money over here. You know, like whatever. They're not looking to see that. I'm going to show up in excellence, no matter what I got to do. I got to move stuff around. I got to exchange stuff. I got to do. Sometimes I stay up all night before I get on this call. Here's one thing y'all don't know. Before I get on this call, sometimes y'all probably tell, but sometimes I got to take a 5 hour energy drink. Why? Because this will be my seventh call. So I'm on the seventh call, but you don't want me to show up like this my seventh call, right? You want me to show up in the way that I can. So I'm showing up in excellence. I'm gonna take that 5 hour energy drink and I'm gonna show up and you're gonna be like, that dude don't quit. He just don't quit. He just don't give in. That's my commitment though. So always do your best in every moment, in every situation, do your best, right? So that's the 4 agreements that we're gonna stand on with estate for 2026. Guys, be impeccable with your word. Take personal responsibility. We do not make assumptions, and we're gonna always do our best. We're gonna strive for excellence in everything that we do. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, let's go, right? 2026 game plan, goals, and key metrics. Let's go, right? Here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to set, I forgot to put this part in there, right? Actionable steps for a successful year. We're going to set and achieve our personal targets consistently. Success, right? How many of y'all know how many of y'all have listened to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale? Anybody a personal development geek like me? Drop a 3 in the chat if you've listened to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. I got some people. I got infopreneur, you my people, right? Daryl, I know you are, right? Look, that's good stuff. Yeah, Miss Banks. I see you doing it, right? Look, here's what I want to talk about, right? Success is the progressive achievement of a worthy ideal. What I want you guys to get from that is it's progressive. It's progressive. It's a moving target. What do I mean? You're going to set your target. You need a target because it's going to determine what you're going to get, right? So here's what I want you guys to do. Make sure before you go into 2026, make sure you have your targets set. Make sure that you have your goals set, real goals, right? And what do I mean by real goals? They should be clear, right? So I want you guys to do this. I want you to make sure that you have your goals set up. Set up your goal for the year. Set up what goals you're going to make throughout the year because it's progressive. I'm telling you guys, if you set income goals, when you get to $10,000 a month, the same day your eyes are going to be set on 20,000. And most people be like, nah, man, Anthony, it don't work like that for me. I never made 10,000 before, right? When you get $10,000 goal, you get the $10,000 a month, immediately your eyes going to be set on 20,000. When you get to 20,000, man, like, yeah, I think 30,000. See, I used to think 30,000. I said, man, if I'm making $30,000 a month, man, y'all shut the front door. I'm going home. Ain't nobody gonna see me. I'm making $30,000 a month. And then I got to $30,000 a month, and I was like, I mean, not disrespecting the goal, but look, you don't want to know why. You want to know why this is because we're as human beings, we're programmed to grow. As human, look, we're not programmed to be stagnant. We're not programmed to be stagnant. It's not great. See, look, people when it comes to finances, people want to say, "Oh, you shouldn't feel that way." But when if I ask you the question, I say, "How healthy do you want to be?" How many of you all want to be as healthy as you can be? Right? If you like, your goal is to be as healthy as possible, I want y'all to drop a two in the chat. If your goal is to I want to be as healthy as possible. There's nobody saying, well, I want to be a little bit healthy. I don't want to be too healthy because that would be just crazy, right? I don't want to be too healthy. I just want to be an average amount of healthy. I only want to be comfortable healthy. No, we say we want to be as healthy as possible. So why does it go crazy when we change the first letter? If you change that first letter to W, now let me ask you. Now we got the right mindset. How wealthy do you want to be? How many of you all are saying that? Oh, now I get it. I want to be as wealthy as is possible for me to get. If that's you, now I want y'all to drop some fives in the chat. All my people say, I want to be as wealthy as I could possibly get. See, that's a different vibe for a lot of y'all. Y'all really haven't had somebody talk to you like that and explain it to you in that way. I don't want y'all to think it's a bad thing. Because you start talking about money and wealth, people say, "Oh, that's greed. This is whatever." No, let me tell you. Let me tell you this: the right money in the right people's hands, you're gonna do the right things. It's gonna get the right results. If you're the right person, and you get that money in your hand, the right person's hands, it's gonna be amazing, right? You know why? Because you're not going to be selfish. It's not just your money. I want so much money that it's not just my money. It's money that is going to be going out to so many people. I'm a distribution center for wealth. Do you guys know why I do a giveaway on every presentation? Because I want to start the process. I'm a distribution center of wealth. I'm giving away all the time, like boom, 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 boom. So when man, I'm going too deep into that. But look, I want you guys to see. I want you to set those targets, those goals. I want you to get there. Set your target. Here, I want your goal to be clear. What does that mean? Clear means that you can see it. What does that mean? Clear means it needs to be written down. You need to be able to see it with your eyes. It's the first stage of your goal coming to reality is writing it down. Needs to be clear so you can see it. Here's the next thing. What is also clear? What's the last three letters of clear? Is ear. Last three letters of clear is ear. You need to be able to hear it. What am I trying to tell you? You need to be speaking this goal every single day. Whose voice do you hear the most besides God, right? It's your own. So you need to be speaking your goal, what? As often as possible. Right? As often as possible. Say, hey, look, I'm so grateful now that I'm making over $10,000 a month through my estate business. By when? Set a target. Set a timeline, not a deadline. Y'all know we don't do deadlines over here because at deadlines, your goal is dead. You set a timeline where we're going to achieve our goal. I understand that my goal is not dead because the timeline has been reached. We saw the timeline. I just moved the timeline. All right. So here's the timeline. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making $1 million a year from estate by December 31st, 2026. I am. Get up and say it to yourself. When somebody say no, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making over $1 million a year in estate by December 31st, 2026. Somebody quit and said they ain't doing this no more. I'm so happy and grateful now. Woo, timeline. All right. Now, what else? So we're gonna do that. Now, here's now we got to make this work. So we're gonna clear, make it ear. We're gonna have a clear. We're gonna clear so you can hear it, right? So you're going to here's one of the things that I want to tell you: attend and invite to daily presentations regularly. It's not for us. Can I tell y'all the truth? I was doing this presentation when it was 5 people on it. So I'm gonna do it where it's 5 or 50 or 500. I'm gonna be on the presentation. It don't matter, right? But here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to attend and invite. You got to make this personal commitment that I'm going to attend and invite to daily presentations regularly. I'm not. And the thing is, attend them. But you know what? People say, I already attended. Like I attend all these presentations. You know why you feel that way? And you know how? I already. You know what I automatically know when somebody starts saying that to me? You ain't got no new people on the presentation. When they say like, look, I was attending the presentation, but I already attended so many of them. Yeah, I know you ain't got no new people on because if you had new people on, you'd be excited to be on every presentation. If you had 2 or 3 new people on every presentation, you would be up there like, I need to get on this presentation because I got Mark, Alex, and John on. I got Linda, Sue, and Mary on. And Mary, they're going to get the information for the first time. And I'm excited about them hearing the information. I want to hear the same thing that they heard. So I'm going to be on the presentation. All right. What else? Track your progress. Can I tell you this is where a lot of people miss it? They don't realize they're making progress because they don't track their progress. Track your progress. Y'all hear me say it all the time. I'm a numbers guy. I go and look at my numbers. I go see how many deals were done, how much, profit commission was made, how many different things. I'm going looking at all the numbers. What's the progress? Oh, sometimes you are making progress, but you don't realize it because you're not tracking it. Whatever you track has a tendency to automatically improve. Y'all ever tried dieting before? Anybody ever lost any weight? If you lose weight, one of the greatest ways to lose weight, start writing down everything you eat. Track it. Just track it. It'll change your life. How many of y'all know I'm telling the truth? Drop a 1 in the chat. You know I'm telling the truth. Track it. Just write down. Just start right. Say, I'm gonna make a commitment to write down everything I eat. You're gonna realize how much you eat. You're gonna be ashamed to write it down. You're gonna miss out on some stuff. You be like, I gotta write down that candy bar that I just hold on. I gotta write down that I ate 3 of the candy bars. Start tracking your stuff and watch how you see it improve. When you write down how many people you had on each presentation, you're gonna get tired of writing 0. If it means something to you, you're gonna get tired of writing 0. Well, Monday I had 0. On Tuesday I had 0. On Wednesday I had 0. Am I gonna keep? Hold on. You're gonna get tired of writing 0. All right. Now, here's the other thing. Implement and adjust. Implement and adjust. When you hear stuff, when leaders put out stuff, when you hear about things working, what I want you to do is implement those things, right? So you start implementing things. But here's the thing: you adjust as you see what works. Yes, it's going to be different things that work for different people. Your different personalities, all of this type of stuff. But what you do is implement and make adjustments. The biggest, the bad, one of the worst thing about people is when they won't make the necessary adjustments. Be willing to make the necessary adjustments to achieve the level that you want. Can I tell you guys that it's what I just saw that it said an airplane, right? If it's what was it? What it said, if it's 1 degree off, it'll totally miss its destination. If it's just 1 degree off for more than, I think it was like more than an hour, it'll totally miss the destination that it's going to. But all it has to do is make an adjustment of 1 degree to hit its target. Do you know that as a pilot, they're constantly making adjustments so that they make sure they stay on track to get to their destination. So what do we need to do? We need to be just like the pilot and constantly making adjustments to make sure that we get to our destination. It's not set it and forget it. I gotta adjust. And look, the thing is, look, small tweaks lead to giant peaks. It's not big things. It's usually not the super big things. It's usually the small adjustments, the small tweak you're gonna make. And that small tweak can take you a long way to a big peak, right? And so this is what I want to tell you guys is just to make those small adjustments. Make those small adjustments. It'll mean so much for your world. This is the last thing, right? I want y'all to get this, right? I want you, and I was intending to change this. I was doing this pretty fast, but look, I want you guys to understand that you are the architect of excellence. I want you to get this. I am an architect of excellence. I am an architect of excellence. What I want you guys to get is that this is on you. You are the architect, right? I don't know why my thing is acting up, but you are the architect of excellence, right? Dang, I keep moving too fast. But we're going to go out and we're going to shape our own destiny. We're going to create our own. Look, we're creating a blueprint for success for the world right now, right? And we're the architects of excellence. We're shaping the way. And right now, and here's the other thing, guys. I don't want you guys to forget this. When I tell you guys the right side of money, I'm gonna end with this. It's 5 o'clock. The right side of money. The right side of money is business systems and investments. So through estate, we're able to purchase fractional shares of properties that produce passive income. All right. So we have the investment side down. That is easy. That is simple for us. Here's what I want you guys to add to that though. Systems. Now you guys know if you've been on my trainings before, I don't use the traditional one, which is save yourself time, energy, and money, right? That's one way. That's one acronym for that, right? Mine is simplify your strategy to earn more. That's what system stands for me. Simplify your strategy to earn more. Now, this is what I want you guys to do is put systems in place, right? Put systems in place to ensure smooth operations, allowing people to focus on building relationships and driving growth. This is for all the leaders. Put strong systems in place to ensure smooth operations, allowing people to focus on building relationships and driving growth. This is what I want all the leaders that are on right now. Find your system. We have a system right now. Our calls are a system. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now we got Saturday with Charles Dyson. We got Sunday. We got 7 days. We got Sunday with Vaughn Morrill, right? Vaughn Morrill. We also, look, let me tell you, we got a Monday. So we got Charles Dyson on Saturdays, Vaughn Morrill on Sundays, and my guy Daryl Porter, confirm if I'm correct, Daryl. But you're doing your Mondays. It's private, so reach out to him to get the information for that. We're not posting it. We're not both blasting it on Facebook because we know how that happens, right? But if you want it, we get that information to you, right? We got so many different ways. Shantae is doing her own stuff. We got so many different people. Then we got Reggie. We just had a launch meeting for Richard Acuff. And then we're doing a launch. We're doing a launch session for Reggie, his first launch session on Monday. We got so many. This is a system. We have a system, guys. Put in a system. When a new person comes in, start planning their launch. That's a system. When a new person comes in and say, hey, you just joined, we want to get you launched and get you off to a fast start for success. Can I tell you guys, send them, there's 3 videos. Can we do this? There's 3 videos. I know I personally have this. You guys use whatever videos you want to. Here's the 3 videos, right? We got a getting started video. We got a video that shows them if they're an agent, how to understand the agent compensation plan. We got a video that explains the buyer levels. Those are 3 simple videos you can send right over to them. This is after somebody gets started, right? We got a video. Hey, here's the getting started one. We got a video that's if they're agent compensation plan, and then we got the video that explains the buyer levels. Simple 3 videos to start them out with. Before they join, here's another thing that I give. Can I tell you guys? So before they join, I give them a 12-minute overview. 12-minute overview video that I've done. There's other people have their own overview videos. The company has their own overview video, right? The company has one that's like 4 minutes. So whatever overview video you want to. So those are some videos. So I'm gonna ask my wife. Tyree said, my wife, if you see Tyree's message, can you drop the link to that video for how to fund with Coinbase? I'm gonna put that on my YouTube after a while. I wasn't planning on putting it on YouTube, but so many people have asked me for it now, so I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So because I did it for a personal thing. So my wife is gonna get that as well. So she'll put that link out there. But those are systems, guys. See, systems doesn't have to be complex. It just needs to be smooth, right? It just needs to be smooth. So you just go in and say, hey, look, I'm sharing this with you. Right now, when somebody here's the thing, have a system for different things. So when I get in contact, if I know this person is a leader, if I know they've already experienced success before, or they're a real estate person, all this other stuff, sometimes I don't send them the information. Guess what I do? I set up a meeting for them. Hey, when can we jump on Zoom? Now, for me, I send my calendar link. Now let me be totally honest. You got to decide if you got to see if you have the authority with that person to send them a calendar link. Right? So if you have influence with that person, and you know if you do, right? Then send them a calendar link. Say, look, I would love to jump on a Zoom with you, and let's talk about what I got going on. Here's my calendar link. Now, if it's somebody that you may not have that influence with, you may have to do it like kind of personally. You may like, hey, what you would do is say, hey, you know what? I want to talk to you about this. I got something I think would be very valuable for you. You mind if we jump on a quick Zoom? I think you'll be interested. And they may say, yeah, they may ask what time, and you just set up the Zoom for them. Don't make it easy and smooth for them, right? Find out what you're going to do with that. Right now, when you jump on that with them, then you show them some information. You may invite to that Zoom meeting one of your leaders. Say, hey, look, I'm jumping on this Zoom later with a real estate investor. I would love for you to jump on this call with me. Right? They jump on the Zoom, then you guys, you talk to them together. That could be a new person for you. But have your system, work it out. Have a system of when you add people to. Can I tell you guys, we have an e-estate messenger chat. It's a messenger chat set up by some of the leaders. So we have an e-estate messenger chat. Add people to that after they have funded their account. At least. Don't add brand new people who are still wondering. Have a system. Like they still wondering, like, hey, look, I may be a prospect, I may do this or not. You know why? Because it invites the wrong mentalities in there. You want the people who've already committed something, they already got in there and do that, right? Add people to the chat that are people who already committed, already got in, already done that stuff. Those are the people that we want in the chat, right? Have a system. Focus on establishing systems. Figure out your system. We're going to be putting out some stuff, but figure out your system before you go into 2026, because systems will lead to success. Systems will allow you to automate your success too. Everybody comes in and it allows you to automate and duplicate your success, because everybody comes in, they're doing the same things. They understand what to do. They're clear. Clarity increases speed. All right. So when everybody's clear on what they need to do, it'll increase speed. All right. So that was my thing. I'm excited about everybody winning. We're going into 2026 as an incredible year. We're going to have even more success. Guys, what we see in 2026 is going to blow most people's mind. Blow most people's mind. It's already in my head. Like, now this is going to sound crazy for somebody, right? It's already in my head. But in 2026, we're going to see our first people with the 6-figure months. Very soon in 2026, we're going to see people who establish incomes of six-figure months. All right. It's about to go insane. We're going to totally rock the industry. Totally rock the industry. Right? This is going on. So this is what I want to tell you guys. Look, I do want to bring on my guy, Darrell Porter. You're a co-host right now, but I want you to unmute. You know, we got the event coming for next Saturday, the Super Saturday. But Daryl, I want to give you an opportunity to share the floor, brother. Share whatever's on your mind and what's on your heart today before we close out.
Hey, can you hear me, Anthony?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, look, man, I appreciate you as always, brother. You're always bringing the fire, man. Man, I'm overly excited, man, going into 2026. You're right. A lot of lives are gonna be changed, man, based off of just the little success we've had in 6 months, man. A lot of people don't realize that we really just launched this thing in June, so there's gonna be a lot of success going into 2026, man. And training is everything. I posted something in the chat earlier about keeping your axe sharp, guys. You got to keep your mind sharp. Got to keep your mind sharp, and you got to have a strong why, man. If you don't have a strong why, you're gonna quit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you don't have a strong why on why you're doing this, you will quit because there's gonna be all kind of things gonna hit you in 2026 to try to get you off track. But if your why's strong enough, you'll stay around. And there's another book. I'm a reader too, and there's another book that I want to throw in the pot. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Guys, if you learn how to just give yourself a slight edge, even if it starts with just 10 minutes a day, and just build on those 10 minutes. And before you know it, guys, you become a subject matter expert in whatever it is that you're doing. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And when you become a subject matter expert in something and you start to educate people, that's what they want. Don't try to be a salesperson, man. I can't stand somebody to come and try to sell me on something. But if you come and educate me and share a problem with me and then bring me a solution, hey, I can work with you. Because now not only did you highlight the problem, but you gave me the solution to the problem. So, man, I'm excited, man. If y'all don't miss Saturday, boy, we got some stuff for y'all for Saturday. So please don't miss Saturday. I already posted all the information in the chat. So please get that information, guys. Saturday's gonna be hot. All right, Anthony, appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. Man, y'all drop some sevens in the chat for Daryl coming in, lighting it up. And look, and I tell you when you know you're on one accord, because the two other books that I was going to mention was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson and then The Compound Effect. Those were two books that I was going to imagine. The fact that you brought that up, brother, that's absolutely amazing. So that book, man, make sure y'all go pick up these books and dive into them because these are things that we use. These are tools, guys. You need tools on your tool belt, right? If you're going to build something significant, you need the right tools on your tool belt. And we just gave you some tools to use, right? So that's going to be absolutely amazing, right? So let's do it, guys. Let's go out. Let's make things happen. Let's achieve the level of success that we've always desired, right? Let's go out and help more people. I love what Charles said in the message, like go find somebody to help. Here's one thing I always say. Focus on those who you're helping instead of those who are hating, right? A lot of times we got it because they make so much noise. We focus our attention on those who are hating. But I like to switch this. I like to switch gears and I focus on those who I'm helping instead of those who are hating. You know why? Because that's where the impact can be made, right? So let's do that, guys. This is my time. I know I went over a little bit as I do on every meeting. Y'all already know that that's how it goes. But I want to tell you guys I'm excited about the success that you guys are going to see. Remember, I'm off for the next 2 days. Brandon Ivy, I just saw, is doing the crypto education call tomorrow. I'm not doing any presentations tomorrow or Thursday, right? But Brandon Ivy is doing the crypto education call tomorrow at 3 p.m. So make sure that you guys are on that presentation as well if you want to learn more about that crypto education and everything. All right. So, guys, I'm excited for you. Let's continue to make it happen. Let's go out and crush it. Be on with us on Friday for my presentation and then also on Saturday for the Super Saturday. All right. So, as I leave every single presentation, I want you guys to know this from my heart. I love and care about each and every one of you, and I definitely want to see all of you win. Until the next presentation, you guys have an absolutely incredible day. Have an absolutely incredible holiday. If you're celebrating, do this, right, guys? You guys be amazing. And until then, we are out. You guys be blessed.